FA Cup final match reaction. City 1, Chelsea 0. Um, won a trophy. Super excited about that. But the game does not leave much to react to outside of a Semenyo wonder finish that we'll get into, and then among some other things that Grant and I have not planned out that we're just gonna basically talk about off the top of our head. So yeah, I feel great. Grant, how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like, as sad as it sounds, I do think that's one of the better ways that game played out for this Chelsea team in its current iteration. We knew this is how we were going to set up guys coming back to full fitness from an attacking standpoint. Not there yet, and not that good, anyways. So, given where we are, coach not having badges, all the context, we knew it was going to be a defensive game. And for the most part, especially in the first half, really organized out of possession. They worked really hard. Talked about it enough times already, but Levi Colwill just adds such a different dimension to the back line, both in and out of possession. I thought Hato looked good as well. And Fafana in the first half was good. So it played out well. And then obviously, like you said, a wonder finish from Semenyo. They played through the press because we did press aggressively at times with our center back stepping in, but Holland gets the best of Fafana, and he deserves a ton of credit. People harp on about his final record in terms of the goal scoring, but he made the difference when it mattered. And we always talk about margins, and that's what this is. Even towards the end of the game, when you just throw bodies forward and start attacking, we couldn't even really get much going. You see Gusto get caught on the ball, taking a too heavy of a touch like that. That sums it up. So started to show some true colors, if you will, towards the end in a bad way. But yeah, I didn't expect much going into it. At least it was competitive. I mean, it sucks when you're in the game and then it gets ripped away. But again, what else could you have expected? The standards are in the absolute gutter. So I'm somehow surprised with this performance, and we still lost.
Yeah, I think there's a grain of salt for you in the fact that it took a wonder finish from Semenyo to get that. I want to talk about Holland a little more.
Go for it.
Um, yeah, I think what you that final record definitely starting to get to him, or at least the chatter about it. You can see it in the way he reacts to Cherokee not passing the ball at the end. Basically, the game's over, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs. So I think it's getting to him a little bit. It shouldn't, honestly, because he had a fantastic game and he's been having a great season just out of possession. And I think you could see that with defensive contribution and just his space in the out of possession formation. He's been really good. So kudos to him. I thought he did really good today, especially against basically a five back. It was meant to be a little more of a three, but they sat in a back five for majority of the game after a while. So I thought he did good to still get involved. I think for the goal, he was in a good position to put in a good cross, and they say strikers putting some pretty good crosses because they know where they want the ball to be. I don't necessarily think Semenyo wanted the ball there, but he made fucking great work of it, and it was a great goal to put us one up ahead. I don't think we were necessarily great today, but you don't need to be great in a final. You just need to walk away the champions.
100%. 100%. I mean, we saw a similar script last year where team came up against you in this final and sat back, took one early goal, and they held on. They were resolute, regardless of if a goalkeeper made a play outside of the box. But there was a little bit of noise regarding refereeing decisions. I thought it was fairly consistent the whole game. They let a lot go. Um, there was, I believe, Joao Pedro and then Hato. Those were two the sort of shouts. I would have been disappointed if I were on the other side of those. I tried my best to keep it consistent. I thought Joao Pedro, for some good that he showed throughout the game, ended up on the ground quite a few times. And even the whole team, there was this just sense of desperation, like, oh, please give us a break, give us a penalty, give us something to cling on to. That sort of went away throughout the game, but you still saw it in a lot of moments. And again, that's just a disappointing thing to see when you look back less than a year ago, where we confidently went up against a PSG and played our game, that sort of thing. So again, just crumbling in terms of stature from where we were 12 months ago. Really disappointing, but at the same time, you still see there's still some good players in this team. Colwell being fit again, Reece James being fit again. I thought Caicedo had a solid game, and there's something to work with here. Like there clearly is, and it would have been obviously great to win a cup final, but we can't we can't play with us. So we have to make this very clear. Like this is what we are. This isn't a fluke result by any stretch. Not that anyone was saying we should have won this game to begin with, but this is where we are. And as excited as I am with the noise about bringing in Xabi Alonso, I think that would be a very good appointment. It would be a step in the right direction. There's a lot of more work that needs to be done when it comes to this team and competing for major honors, something that is being spoken about, but we might not play in Europe at all next season. This was a big game in that instance. We could have gotten Europa League, but this is where we are. We're right back to where we were under Pochettino. We're not going to have Europe, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of guys need to go. A lot of quality needs to come in. So even if we do bring in Xabi, there's a lot more work that needs to be done. And again, just super disappointing given where we were.
Yeah, definitely. In the big scope of things, I can understand that. But I think in just the scope of today's game, there's some signs of that being a very good pickup. I thought the team looked a lot more cohesive, like they played for one another, and I know that was not I know, that was my biggest thing against your guys' play, earlier in 2026. Um, a lot of selfish play, a lot of guys just playing for themselves. Today, you saw Cole Palmer, most of his contributions were defensive, trying to shut down Doku, and it worked for the most part. Um, so I think that's just something good to build off of. These guys haven't given up on each other, or they at least they found that will to fight for each other again, and I think that's a good building block to go off of. The manager hopefully will come next for you guys, put things into place, and then you saw today that the three back can actually do something with the right guys in the space. So if you do get rid of those players, then maybe Shabby can cook something.
Maybe. It's just not good, man. It's not good.
It's okay.
It's not
I
good at
mean,
all.
again, it's all the things we've harped on all season. So I feel like this is just
We were right.
a
Yeah.
perfect example. Even the ESPN commentary was talking about it after the game. Like there is a lack of leadership at Chelsea, whether it be a manager or players in the squad. And on the flip side of the coin, you have City, who has all that leadership, at least for this season. Most of it's going out the window, allegedly next season. So we could be in a very similar situation, but right now we can drink it in that we have a Bernardo Silva that got us through that, have a Rodri that got us through that, even John Stones on the bench. And then again, Pep keeps the guys engaged and focused. I think at one point in the match, you could hear him on the touchline yelling, "Go forward, go forward. What are you doing? Don't go back, go forward." So it's like he wants to keep them in the moment and focused on the task at hand. And I think he did a really good job with that. And that's just something that you guys are gonna have to look for in a manager. And
Yeah.
also just players. Either people need to step up and grow, or you need to bring in that type of leader, that type of experience into the squad.
Yeah. We didn't, as resolute as we were, we really didn't create that much. A lot of half chances and semi openings. And then, like we mentioned on the preview, that right hand side of Kusanov and Nunez neutralizes so many counterattacks and so many openings that you have. There was some nice intricate play at certain points, like a quick layoff and ball over the top for Cucurella to run into, and it just would get closed down. Not even the opportunity to get much in the box, or when it did stick to Joao Pedro, you have no runners coming to support him. I mean, it was tough from that sense. But again, we kind of knew we would enter this game with those sort of issues in terms of going forward. But yeah, like you said, much more of a spirit with the team as an 11, regardless of how sort of whiny it was coming off at times, at least for me. Um, it's good. It's good that we're seeing something, right? It's not fully lost, but we're clinging. We're absolutely clinging on to hope at this point, especially where we are in the table. Just a very disappointing season and another cup final loss at Wembley. I believe that is 7 in a row. It just sums up the season, sums up the decisions made throughout the season. And yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I think the term people like to use, heads need to be rolling. Someone needs to be held responsible for this. Multiple people need to be held responsible for this. And they need to get a lot of things right in the summer. And said it enough times. I don't trust those guys.
I wish you luck.
You and me both.
That's all I can say. Um, any more touch points on this game?
It's cup double in a for a shitty city team, right? You know,
That
like that.
exactly, like, we're in a rebuild year, and we could still end up with a treble, a domestic
Michael
treble.
Jackson, what do you have for us?
I think it's just City. The never give up mentality. I think Semenyo had that today with that finish. A little behind him, didn't give up, still tried to go for something, got something out of it. Um, this is just about fighting till the end. So I think that's been on display a lot towards the end of the season. I think our younger guys are starting to understand what that's about, what that means, and hopefully we can roll off with another.
Do you think this has much of an impact on that, or doesn't really change much in terms of
No, we
how
already
everyone's
knocked them out the
feeling?
cup. Like, I think that had the impact that it did. Again, I know we went in this big argument, but it was in our hands, and then we got it left our hands out of our own doing. So whatever happens is up to Arsenal now and the teams they play. And who knows? Pep's gonna buy them Rolexes if they win the game. So
Yeah, my last bit of cope is there's a little more motivation for the Tottenham game. Like you're not going to be all, oh look at us, we won a cup, so we're not going to give a hug. And no,
yeah,
you cannot lose that game.
you guys
We're
definitely. I mean, just
not
as
only
city
we need to
rivals.
qualify for Europe. We don't want to be playing one game a week, but beyond that, do you want to let them get away with the season that they've had? No, you want to do everything you can to try and send them down. I mean, I believe they've won once at Stamford Bridge since the Premier League has started. Do not even think about making that too. Don't even think about it. I got nothing, man. We're shit.
Oh, damn. Yeah. That game didn't leave much to talk about. Kusanov's a monster. That's it.
Yeah.
He's so strong, so fast. Um, thank God we have him. We totally got the lineup wrong. That's the last bit that we'll get. Anyone who commented on any form of social media about the lineup issues, we nailed the Chelsea one, so suck on that. But we completely fluffed the City one.
Yeah,
Uh,
I didn't expect Marmoush to start, and he got hooked at half. Well,
yeah,
rightfully
as
so.
he
He did
should
not
have.
have any impact.
Mhm. I thought Cherky he's a fun player to watch. I know that he makes
Yeah.
fucking if Pep had hair, he'd be pulling his hair out, but alas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
not a
two
great
more
game,
games.
but
2 more games to go, and then this horrific season is over, and full focus will be on the World Cup.
World Cup and then some transfer activity that we all love to speculate and talk about. Maybe we'll do another
Front of shirt
in-person.
sponsor talk.
Yeah. All right. This has been Grant and Mila, Clash of Clubs, FA Cup final match reaction. Man City 1, Chelsea nil. Socials over there. Thank you guys, and see ya. Oh no, 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 no.